Hello everyone, welcome back to Mindful and Mellow. Today we're going to use the Robin Wood Tarot deck and we're going to do a Celtic Cross Tarot Reading. It's been quite a while since we've done one of these, so I always love these because they're pretty robust and expansive. I mean, it kind of considers past, future, subconscious, conscious, where you're going, you know, that kind of thing, and the outcomes. So I really enjoy these. These are kind of like this is the big picture, okay? So let's just jump right into it. If I have to, if there's any perceived nudity in these cards, as you know from, you know, the illustrations, they're only illustrations, they're standard, you know, cards, that sort of thing, but sometimes the algorithms on the social media applications will pick them up and will prevent the video from uploading. So I might have to cover it with a Splenda package. All right, let's jump right into it. Current energy. Your current energy is reflected as the Eight of Cups, crossed by the Temperance card. In the recent past, you have reached the Page of Pentacles. In the area of your conscious mind, we have the Six of Wands. Make sure we got enough space here. In the subconscious mind, we have the Five of Wands. Ooh, be careful of that. In the near future, we have the Devil. You are represented by the Hierophant. I like that. I like that a lot. Doesn't mean you're becoming a priest. Don't worry. The person or situation coming towards you is represented by the Seven of Cups. In the area of the hopes and dreams, we have the Hermit. And then in the outcome, we have the Ten of Cups. Okay, that is a beautiful card to have in the outcome. Particularly, I don't even probably have to explain it. Just look at the colors. Look at the smiles on these people's faces. Look at all those cups. Look at the rainbow and the positive energy coming out of that. So overall, I feel really good about this. Let's kind of start with your current energy. So your current energy is maybe seeking more balance. Balance and tranquility is kind of what I'm getting, a peace of mind. And maybe you might find yourself, in seeking tranquility, balance, and peace of mind, you might find yourself moving away from something. You might find yourself leaving something behind, whether that's a job, whether that's a person, or, you know, some group that's like some person or group or something that might be considered toxic, or it just has you kind of like in a negative space a lot. This is definitely the energy of, if you're not, you might be doing this soon, or you might be kind of thinking about it, is leaving something behind and moving on to something better, moving on to something more, with more peace and tranquility and just sense of fulfillment and calm is kind of what I'm getting. You know, the Temperance card is a major arcana card. It's all about balance and tranquility. I mean, he looks very peaceful here. He's got one foot in the water, so he's kind of like dipping one foot in. He's got one foot firmly on the ground, though. But it's also about finding balance. So if your life has been out of balance lately, maybe you've been working excessively, you've been working overtime, you've been working nights and spending a lot of time focused on work, and it's been taking a toll. Maybe you're either moving into a new role or moving away. You're moving away from something that's been kind of taking you down a path maybe you didn't want to go, okay? So overall, I feel like that's a very good thing. This is saying like you kind of get that blessing in doing that. It's going to work out well. It's going to bring you greater balance, which I think is a wonderful message to have there. Part of the reason maybe you're able to move on is because more recently, you know, this Page of Pentacles might have been presented to you. This could be an opportunity. This could be a new source of income. This could be, you know, it could be that new job, something like that. So, you know, if you were presented with an opportunity recently or something that generated more income, it might have reduced your need to have that second job, or, you know, might have been the kind of the nudge to either move or get into something new. And that could be what this Eight of Cups is too. This opportunity may have been presented to you, and it's also requiring you to kind of move on from something else, move on from a company, move on from a person, perhaps maybe even moving on physically from your current home and location. So, excuse me, a little stuffy, but you know, I think there was an opportunity that was presented to you. In the area of your conscious mind, I'm definitely getting a sense that like you're feeling like you have been recognized. And maybe this kind of ties back into this, right? This whole opportunity is somebody recognizing you for your contributions, your abilities, your experience, and the value that you might bring. This is all about kind of like acknowledging and recognizing someone. So maybe you've been recognized, maybe you've been promoted too, or you're getting promoted. But you're aware of this. Like you're consciously aware of the affirmations and the the validation that you're receiving from others, and congratulations for a job well done. Okay. You just want to be careful what's going on in your subconscious mind, right? Because see, to me, these are not in sync, right? So you have the 5 and the 6, but you know, the 5 is, I mean, the 6 here, the conscious mind is very positive. It's very upbeat. It's all about like I recognizing your value, giving you the praise and maybe the acknowledgement you might deserve. This could be a little bit of like inner conflict. So if you have been affirming or thinking about like the value that you bring, and you've been affirming that you bring a lot of value and you're recognized for that, your subconscious mind may not be in alignment with that. This is what this is suggesting to me, okay? So the 5 can be about change, but it can also be about conflict, right? So you might affirm that you know, are very valuable and highly regarded in your profession, in your business, in your industry, whatever the case might be, in your craft, we'll call it. But this might be kind of expressing doubt. You know, your subconscious mind is like, yeah, I don't believe that though. Like the subconscious mind might be like, I am, you know, not as valuable as others. I don't have the experiences of others. I don't have the confidence of others. So this could be like, you know, a reminder. This could be like a wake-up call to you to make sure that if you're affirming one thing positively, then make sure your subconscious mind is in alignment with that. Like unpack that a little bit more. Are there limiting beliefs that you subconsciously or you consciously do have that are out there that need to be addressed, right? If we have the belief, the long-standing belief, because we've been told this as a kid, that, you know, we're not the smartest in the room, we're not the sharpest tool in the shed, the brightest bulb in the box, you know, all of those things. This conflict will prevent anything from like manifesting, because you see it's like a tug of war, and it's kind of like you're both tugging in the same length and nothing is moving. So be consciously aware of like what you're thinking about and what that might entail. What's coming towards you, the future here. So this could be a temptation, okay? So, you know, in moving on here, you might be presented with a number of new temptations, and it could be related to like this money sources coming into your life, you know? The devil isn't necessarily bad. It could be, a better cover her up, because I don't know if that will be perceived as nudity, but the devil isn't necessarily a bad card. It just means that there may be some sort of thoughts or some sort of, you know, thoughts or something that's kind of like impure kind of thoughts and beliefs, right? Or something is physically actually holding you back, like with these chains, that you're being physically held, or you're being restrained, or you're being something like that. So, you know, you want to be able to, if you're moving on to something else, make sure you're moving into a space where you're able to express yourself. You're able to be free in the sense that you're able to express yourself without the fear of being disliked, okay? You know, if people dislike you, it's really kind of an assertion, or it's really just evidence that you are living your truth, so to speak. So certainly a great, great thing to be in that case, right? You are represented by the Hierophant. So the Hierophant is all about, tradition, but this is also somebody who is in a highly regarded position. This is somebody who has been very respected, but is also very like driven by tradition, and kind of like maintains the line there. But this is also a teacher too. So people might be seeing you might be like the one that's teaching, you might be the one that's providing the guidance and oversight on something in particular, right? That's what this might be. And it also might be like representing the blessing that's coming towards you. Notice those two fingers are together and they're up in the air. It's like a bit of a blessing, right? But this kind of goes along with this recognition we see in the six of wands here. So people might be seeing you as a knowledgeable teacher, like an established expert, or somebody who is highly regarded in that particular profession or area. The person or situation coming towards you is the Seven of Cups, right? So this could be the situation. This could be a number of options being presented to you. So you might find yourself in this new role, or whatever this might be, presented with a number of options, and there might be one that's not really the most pure, best thought, right? It could also be a person. If we're thinking about this in the context of a person, it could be somebody that's coming towards you might be indecisive, get their head in the clouds a little bit. And if this is like someone you might be romantically interested in, you might get mixed signals from this person, because you might be like, oh, they just don't seem that into me. But the reality is maybe there's a lot in their mind, and there's a lot going on in their head, or maybe they're like a Gemini, kind of like me. And sometimes your mind is on so many different things, because there's so many things that you're interested in, that sometimes you do come across as being a little bit flighty, or a little bit, you're not necessarily demonstrating your interest all the time. Okay? In the area of the hopes and the fears, we have another major arcana card, which is the Hermit. So this could be like, you know, I think the fear or I'm definitely getting, I get more of a fear vibe with this, and it's like shining a light on something, exposing something. So if it's tied to this, maybe you've been restrained by this fear that you have, okay? And maybe maybe it's like shining a light on something, exposing something about you or about somebody else. And that could be kind of like holding you back, and that might be a fear. But I don't think that is an issue for you, because with the Hierophant, the Six of Swords, the Six of Wands, and even the Page of Pentacles is telling me that you are very, very highly regarded. So I do feel like any particular fear might be a little bit unsubstantiated and over we're overly concerned about something, and that we don't need to be concerned about. And that's further substantiated by the fact that in the outcome, we have the Ten of Cups. This is probably one of the best cards to have in the outcome. Okay, so this is all about emotional fulfillment. This is that legacy. This is that family. This is feeling part of the community, okay? This is part of feeling loved, valued, appreciated, having an abundance of, your cup is overflowing with positive emotion, okay? You are up in the clouds. You are feeling positive and high vibe, okay? The rainbow is multicolored, and he's out there in the clouds, and you can see like streaks of sunlight shining through. This is high energy, right? This is the family life. This is having achieved those desires, those dreams. This Page of Pentacles combined with moving on to something new with the blessing of the Temperance card could be you moving into something that is really going to light you up and connect you with, could also put you in the right place at the right time, where you meet the love of your life, where you meet that significant other, that spouse, right? So overall, I mean, I think this is probably one of the best cards to have here. And if you're like, well, I don't really have a family, or like having kids isn't my thing, or isn't something that I'm looking to do, that's fine. And that nothing changes with this. But this is all about kind of feeling at one with a community of people, or with a group of individuals who are either family, friends, or more. Could even just be a partner, right? And just kind of feeling that you are part of that community, that you are valued, and you're in a partnership and have a lot of strong relationships. So, and it can also relate to money as well, right? So this could be like, hey, taking this opportunity, moving on, does bring you tremendous happiness and abundance and wealth, right? So this is like they're living well here. This is the good life. So, whatever it might be could certainly bring you tremendous health and wealth and, emotional happiness. So with that, I thank you for being here, and I'll be back again real soon.